Olaf traveled a long way up the wooden stairs before he reached a small stone landing protruding from the wall. He was up really high now, probably the highest he could get. Ahead of him, a second set of stairs led back down. "Wow," he said, looking over the edge at the massive drop. "Wow, wow, wow, wow," his voice echoed back. Olaf considered. He was standing in a great place to get the attention of any hidden phantoms. He smiled and took a deep breath. What do you think he's going to do? Have you decided if you think he's going to find a phantom or not? Have you ever been in a place before where your voice echoed like that? And he said, "Wow, wow, wow, wow." Kind of fun. Chapter 15. Anna threw up her hand. "We have to find all this today? Here we are on an adventure through secret passageways following a phantom, and we don't have the time to properly enjoy it at all. I mean, look at this." She crouched down next to one of the uniforms, feeling the cold cloth. Elsa sat down beside her sister. "Anna, we have all the time we need. These passageways aren't going anywhere. We can explore them any day." Elsa frowned as she looked around. "Ideally, with lots of lanterns and ropes and guards and maybe a couple of experts in castle architecture. The point is," Elsa picked up Anna's hand. "The point is, we have all the time in the world. You know that." Anna looked at her sister. "I know, I know you've got so much to do. Running a kingdom is busy work, and I want you to be so happy, and I want to do so many things with you. But I am happy. I really am. It's just," Elsa mused, "I'm new to all this, and Mom and Dad, they did everything they could, but it was hard for me to prepare to rule with my powers and having to hide, so I worry that I'm not as good as they were. And I'm trying really hard to catch up, you know?" "You're doing fine. You really are. But Mom and Dad had each other. You're just one person. But with me helping you, Hey!" Anna trailed off, distracted by something she saw from the corner of her eye. What do you think it is? What do you think she sees? She picked up one of the fallen dresses. "I remember this dress. It's..." Elsa reached out, examining the garment. The dress was a soft green with a blue pattern dyed into the fabric. "This belonged to Mom. She wore it when we were little, before you were hurt." Anna opened a crate, holding the lantern close so she could see inside. It was filled with books, familiar books. All of this was Mom's. It must have all been packed away when... Elsa picked up a book and dusted off the cover. "I remember this one. She used to read it to us when we would go to sleep. See, it even has the corner you used to chew on." Anna frowned, squinting at the book. "I didn't chew on any book. She stopped and thought for a minute. "I was young. Books seemed delicious then." Anna pushed the box away. "I'm sorry, Elsa. I'm your younger sister, and I'm supposed to be there for you like Mom and Dad would have been if they hadn't." Anna tried to steady her voice. "And once they were gone, and..." Elsa put an arm around her sister comfortingly. "They're not gone. They're right here. They're with us always in these books and dresses and in our memories and in our surroundings. And most importantly, they'll always be with us as long as we have each other." Anna looked up at her sister, and there were tears in her eyes, but she was smiling. "I guess we found our phantoms, right? I'm always here for you too, Elsa. I really am." Elsa reached out and with a small smile wiped away the tear that was trickling down Anna's cheek. "And I will always be here for you. And I promise, we're going to get out of here, and I'm going to take you somewhere that you'll feel so much better about everything, I promise." Anna felt herself smile. That would mean a lot to me. I think that... Wait, Anna suddenly stood up, remembering. "You can't take me anywhere tonight, though. I have to take you somewhere." Elsa shook her head. "Well, first things first, we have to get out of here, agreed?" Anna looked like she wanted to argue, but instead she said, "Agreed. Let's find a way out. And then..." Anna was opening her mouth to continue when she was interrupted by a nearby screech, like nails on a chalkboard, or a cat left on a frozen lake. It was horrible, truly horrible, and it was nearby. What do you think it is? A guess, make a good prediction. What do you think it is? Chapter 16. Olaf continued screeching and moaning and howling as loudly as he could while he walked down the rickety staircase. Rickety means it's not very sturdy. It feels like it's going to fall or break. The book on phantoms had said that spirits howled and moaned because they had forgotten how to communicate. Howls were all they understood. "Ow!" Olaf screeched. Look at how the author wrote that. How do you write the word "ow" when you're trying to scream? See how they did it with lots of vowels? So that's what you might see when you're reading and they're wanting you to make the sound of a screecher. Ooh, he howled. Down below him, Olaf could see a second stone landing. Below that, the stairs continued down into the darkness. Olaf heard a noise. He turned and looked behind him. The staircase sure was wobbling a lot. That was interesting. So what do you think is making the staircase wobble? Do you think a spirit or a ghost or a phantom has found him? Let's read to find out. Chapter 17. Anna ran up the wooden steps with Elsa right behind her. The noise had come from that way. She was sure of it. That meant that whatever had arranged the food in the old dining room and the clothes in the storage room was also that way. Up and up she ran. The staircase was absurdly tall, held up by wooden scaffolding bolted into the walls at intervals, and had clearly been intended as a temporary solution, perhaps for some long-ago maintenance problem. Anna hadn't realized how deep they had gone into the castle basements and how high the castle walls must be, for the two sisters just kept climbing and climbing as the stairs went back and forth and up between the walls. "Anna," Elsa said, between panting breaths as they climbed, maybe we should just head back down. There has to be a better way out than this." Anna was also exhausted, and she gasped as she spoke. Maybe there is, but we have to reach the top soon." As she said soon, her foot hit a rotted plank on the stairs and crack! It gave way beneath her. "Anna!" Elsa cried out. "Hold on!" Anna was holding on. She had fallen through the stair riser and was wedged into the broken plank at waist level, dangling above a drop that probably stretched all the way back down to the castle basement. "Why," she managed to say as she struggled not to fall, "do people always tell you to hold on when you're obviously going to hold on already? Holding on is the obvious choice." Elsa grabbed at Anna's arm, trying to haul her up. "It's meant to be encouraging." Anna's feet kicked uselessly in the air. "It's very encouraging. Could you also use your powers to maybe..." Elsa shook her head quickly. "The stairs are already unstable. The extra weight would crumble." Elsa was cut off by a loud crumbling noise, and they both looked down. The staircase was falling apart from the basement up. Anna felt herself slipping. "Hurry!" Elsa pulled with all her might, and suddenly Anna was free, clambering to her feet on the stairs. "Run!" Anna yelled. "Now who's pointing out the obvious?" Elsa yelled in return as she ran. They scrambled, the staircase collapsing behind them. For a moment, Anna felt like she was running on free-floating planks that gravity simply hadn't caught up with. Then, before the sisters could fall, their feet touched stone. It was a small landing jutting out of the castle wall near the very top. It extended for only a handful of feet, and from there, another rickety staircase descended. Descended means to go down, or at least it had. Both staircases appeared to have crumbled at the same time. In other words, Anna and Elsa were precariously perched on a 5-foot-long, 3-foot-wide stone ledge. A ledge that was icy cold, despite Elsa's having avoided using her freezing powers. And yet, the ghost was nowhere to be found. That was when the laughing began. So that word, that precariously, that's a really big word, right? It means that they're standing on this little small ledge and they're very unsafe and they could fall. So they're in quite some danger. What do you think the laughing is? Make a good prediction. It was echoing off the stone walls that surrounded them. Chapter 18. Huh, Olaf said as he surveyed the remains of the staircase behind him. It had happened fast. First, the wobbling started. Then everything was collapsing. The next thing Olaf knew, he was falling. Luckily, he landed on something soft, that being his butt, on the second ledge he had seen earlier. In truth, the experience had tickled, so much so that it had taken him a while to stop laughing after he landed. Eventually, he got up and made sure all his parts were still attached. It looked like the sheet had helped him keep him together. What a great sheet! Adjusting it to make sure his appearance was as ghostly as possible, he looked down. There was still a very long way to the bottom, and no longer any staircase to travel on. Huh, he said, again, considering what to do next. What do you think is going to happen next? What do you think Olaf's going to do? And what about Elsa and Anna? What's going to happen? How are they going to get out of this situation? Make a prediction.